As long as I don't move, I think this works. Hi, I'm Jen, and welcome to my podcast. Hi, I'm Jen, the podcast where I talk about anything I want because I'm alone in my house and nobody can stop me. So, why am I starting a podcast? I started seeing a therapist, and after a couple of sessions, she advised that I start recording myself because I have some very hard opinions about some interesting topics. These are her words. And she said that I can speak about them in a way that people might pay attention. So I said, okay, I'm not doing anything. Let's start doing this. I'll start recording myself alone in my house with my cats that you can probably hear behind me. You can probably also hear some rain because I'm in Oklahoma, and even though it's the first week of November, I was woken up to tornadoes. Well, tornado activity. I think specifically spin activity is what the weather folk called it. But it was severe enough that all of the sirens went off. They canceled all of the schools, and because we're supposed to get some more. But yeah, right now just rain. Hopefully it's not too loud or distracting. I am recording in between two windows in my house because I don't have fancy lighting. So yeah, that's why you'll be able to hear the outside. And there's nothing I can do about the inside noise because only crazy people try to control cats. But only the really good crazy people are successful with it. So maybe you'll see some cats. Yay. So yeah, that's why I decided to start a podcast, is because basically my therapist said, do that. And I said, okay. And then, got the opinion of some friends and got the opinion of some family, and they were like, yeah, you should do that. And they were very supportive of it, so why not? I sincerely am not doing anything else because I'm, as of recently, also unemployed. Yay! And that's actually not why I started seeing a therapist, but is definitely related to why I started seeing a therapist. I was a few weeks back in like the late summer of this year of 2024, was just going into work every day on the verge of tears, feeling like I just wanted to tear off my skin. I was just incredibly burnt out. That's what it turned out to be. I started, after about 2 weeks of having that feeling, every day I went into work, noticing how low my capacity for empathy was getting, how my productivity was shot. I decided to reach out for help, and within the first 60 seconds, the therapist that I was seeing at work, on campus, was like, yeah, that's burnout. You have like textbook burnout. And I'm like, I've never experienced this before. I have no idea what's going on. Of course, people always talk about burnout, But the job that I was in at the time, they kind of, it's so common, they kind of treat it like a badge of honor. And I was very much not going that route with it. I was like, this is affecting me even outside of work. And I already have depression and anxiety, and it was just exacerbating it. So I started seeing another therapist, and who I found through BetterHelp, not sponsored, but definitely could be. So yeah, did the survey, used a promo code from another podcast that I watch, Bald and the Beautiful, my favorite, sincerely the only podcast that I actively watch or listen to every single week. There are others that I am interested in, but the Bald and the Beautiful, I will not miss an episode. Anyhow, use BetterHelp, use the promo code, filled out the survey, was matched with a therapist within, I don't know, maybe 48 hours. I've been talking to her for, I think, about 3 months now, and she's phenomenal. I love my therapist. Really wish that I hadn't waited so long to find her, to use BetterHelp to find her, but when I was really struggling and in a position where I'm like, I need help and I need it as soon as possible, BetterHelp was the first thing that came to mind. And it was well worth it. Very, very thankful for BetterHelp for matching me up with my therapist, who I will be speaking to later today. So I started seeing 2 therapists about my textbook burnout that I'd never experienced before, and became very vocal to my leadership, my immediate leadership. So I spoke to 3 different managers about what I was going through and how I need their help and their support to get through it. And 2 of the 3 were like, yeah, I don't know what to do for you. So, your performance is suffering, so you're going to get reprimanded for it. And I'm like, whatever. I asked them for support, and they're like, well, we don't know what kind of support you need. I'm like, okay, so nobody knows how to deal with burnout when members of their team are experiencing it, and moreover, reaching out to you to help with it. So I just started reaching out to as many people in the company as possible, and finally they got tired of me kind of speaking up. They suggested, there's really nothing we can do for you, so you should put in a request for an extended leave of absence. So I did, and I was approved, and then the next day I was pulled into a tiny room with my manager and HR, where they told me, we have made a business decision to separate you from your current employment with the company. So here I am. Got nothing better to do. Was given some homework by my therapist. Got the support from my family to follow through with the idea. So here we are. It couldn't have come at a better time, because one of the things that I really want to come out of this experience is letting people know they're not alone. A lot of people experience burnout at one point or another with their job. And those who can pull through it and come out on the other side, kudos. I wasn't one of them. I needed a drastic change, and getting fired was welcomed. I didn't fight it. I didn't, and I'm a fighter, man. I'm an advocate, very passionate. I speak up, especially when others won't, and that's one of the reasons why I was going to as many people as I could in my company at the time about what I was experiencing. I'm like, I'm not alone in this. I'm just the one who's willing to speak up about it and not willing to back down when my leadership admits to not wanting to help, not knowing how to help, not being willing to help. They were like, yeah, we got to get rid of her. So they did. After I wasn't let go, I wasn't laid off, I was straight up fired. About 4 days after they made the business decision to separate my employment from the company, I learned that they fired upwards of 350, 400 people from the company, all with like the same kind of very vague excuse where it's like, your attendance isn't great, but we haven't documented it, but we're going to use this as a excuse to let you know, we're making a business decision to separate you from the company. With other folks, it was just like, yeah, we just don't need you anymore, so bye. Nobody was laid off. Laid off implies the company paid severance. Nobody got severance. It was just peace. It took, and when they do that, they don't let you go back to your desk and like collect any of your personal belongings. So they will have somebody go to your desk, and hopefully they can find your phone or your keys or your glasses or whatever you may have left at your desk or in your office. So I had to wait about 2 weeks before I got all of my equipment back to me. And some stuff was left behind, but I'm not too worried about it. Two of my previous coworkers were little doodlers and very good at it too. So they drew me just funny pictures, and I really wanted to hold on to those, but yeah, I'll reach out to them and commission a silly doodle maybe for Christmas. Yeah, so I intend to only keep these at about 20 minutes. I intend to keep these pretty raw, pretty unedited, pretty unfiltered, because that's what was suggested. I am by no means a content creator, but hopefully this doesn't suck. I mean, I'm even okay if it's bad, just not crappy, just not caca-poo-poo. Because I'm not a professional at this. I'm not versed in this in any way. Yeah, so you're going to hear a lot of filler words. Hopefully there's not a lot of dead space. Another reason why I want to keep it only at about 20 minutes is because I like to be concise. I'm not one for fluff or to just fill time, she says as she currently fluffs and fills time. So let's get to the daily affirmation. Huh? Yeah. Isn't that exciting? So today's affirmation for the first episode of this podcast, hi, I'm Jen, is I start every day with a clean slate. I'm going to say that one more time. I start every day with a clean slate. And what that means to me is yesterday might have sucked, but yesterday doesn't have to be a reflection of today. And if yesterday was awesome, on a clean slate, let's try to repeat that. Let's try to make it awesome. Let's build on top of the positivity that is already coursing through us, that's already manifesting through our energy. And if the day before was crappy, today's a brand new day. Let's start from scratch. We don't have to build on that negative energy. Sometimes we just gotta take a day, take a couple hours. Believe you me, I was on the cusp of a full-fledged shame spiral after I was fired, and told myself, I'm not gonna let this get me down. I'm not going to cry, and I didn't. I'm just going to take it one day at a time. Submitted an unemployment claim. Been updating my resume, filling out applications, and with the current, I guess, economic and political climate that we're in right now, tomorrow is election day. Today is November 4th. 4th day of November, we need a purple high. Tomorrow is November 5th, 2024. It is election day. And people keep telling me, oh yeah, after the election, people are going to start hiring like crazy. So just stick it out. I'm like, okay. I've been submitting applications since about August. So that's another reason why I was on that cusp of a shame spiral, is because I'm like, I've been looking for a job for a while and I've been getting nothing. What's going on? And what I do get back is, thanks, but we've decided to move on with another candidate. So a lot of rejections. But I took some time to really sit in on this process, really try to just make it to the other side. Sometimes you just got to sit in it. Sometimes when you're stuck in the shit and you're tired of fighting, sometimes you just have to sit in it. As long as you come out. Because if you sit in shit for too long, it stops smelling. Jenifer Lewis. So come the fuck out of there. We'll go ahead and call that a bonus affirmation for today. Thank you to Jenifer Lewis. So that was our daily affirmation. That's something that I'm going to be doing. We'll have some more stuff happening. And what else do we have going on? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I was summoned by the cats to scratch a butt because they're not getting treats. They just had breakfast. I have two cats. They are from the same litter, so they are brother and sister. So the story goes, from the person who was fostering them, they were a litter from a feral stray, and the people who surrendered all of the kittens, I think she said that it's 5, leave me a litter of 5. The other 3 were kind of calico, much lighter coats or coat patterns. These 2 are straight black. Black paw pads, black noses, full black coats. They're so beautiful and I love them so much. Almost 2 years they were up for adoption, and I was told I was the first person who ever showed any interest in them because they're a bonded pair, because they're both black, because they're not kittens. They were nearly 2 years when I got them. I think they were both a year and maybe 9 months. So full grown, bonded pair, both black. I was the first and only person to show interest in them. I wanted to take them home immediately. I always knew that I wanted to rescue black cats because it's 2024 and people still believe in like superstitions of, black cats bring bad luck, or, black cats are associated with evil or witchcraft or whatever. And I'm like, y'all dumb. And the fact that I had to wait until January to adopt because smart foster parents who have black cats open to adoption, available for adoption, will refuse to release or adopt out black cats from the end of September until like the second week of January, because some people will do crazy, psychotic, and evil things to animals around Halloween. And November is a big hunting season, and if you can't find what is open for that season, they will just hunt anything. And then December, some really neurotic parents will gift animals to their children, and then their children don't want them, or they grow bored of them. So then they end up January, February, March, they say are big months for people to start surrendering animals. So January is when they open it back up. And January 16th is when I adopted them. So, and I've only had them for about a year and a half. They will be 4 April of 2025. I love them so much. I love them so much. When I would have the worst days at work, I would come home and they'd be waiting for me at the door, and they would like kind of do a little hop, like, Mom's home, scratch my butt, or Mom's home, scratch my head, Mom's home, give me treats, play with me. They're just, oh, they're so sweet. They were so starved for affection. They just, especially like my baby girl, she's like, you can scratch my butt all day. I'm not going to stop you. You can, she will demand pets. Both of them like to have their little tummies scratched until you tickle their ribs, and then they'll get you. They'll get you. I don't know if you can see those, but I got a couple of scritchies on my hand. They're my freaking world. They're amazing. Definitely adopt. Spay and neuter your pets and your friends, and definitely adopt. It's so worth it. It is so worth it. Yeah. I wanted to talk more about getting fired and being unemployed and doing a job search, but then I started talking about cats, and frankly, that's a much better topic. So, yeah, cats. You'll see them. Don't worry. Maybe not today, but you'll see them. Can't miss them. Big, giant black cats running around my house.
This city boy. Hi, city boy. His name Obsidian, but we call him City Boy. And her Nikki baby. Hi, Nikki baby. Her name is Onyx. We call her Nikki.